This is the village of Kakarak in Uruzgan province. Almost everyone here lives off the land, including Esmatullah, who vividly remembers a night more than a decade ago. Esmatullah, 13 at the time, accuses Australian troops of killing his father and brother. He says his father was a shoemaker, not a Taliban fighter, and he's demanding an explanation. From 2001 to 2013, Australian troops, including the SAS, were based in this province, and raids on villages like this were frequent and, for locals, terrifying. This testimony isn't part of the heavily redacted Brereton report into Australian war crimes. Esmatullah only came forward after its release in 2020. The report recommended the referral of 36 matters to the Federal Police, which is still investigating. Since you made your complaint a year ago, has any Australian investigator contacted you? Instead, it was this man who took his statement. For 14 years, Haji Bahai investigated killings in Uruzgan for the Afghan Independent Human Rights Commission. He's documented more than 30 separate allegations against Australian troops and says more are outstanding. Geography is not the only problem. The Taliban has suspended the Human Rights Commission, and many worry this will affect further investigations into alleged war crimes. Driving down dusty tracks and through poppy fields, we reach the village of Sorkh Mogab, where Samiullah tends to his family farm. Samiullah was just a child when Australian commandos threw 2 grenades into his home in February 2009. This is what's left of it. Samiullah's father, brother, sister, 3 cousins were killed. Two commandos were charged with manslaughter after this raid, but the charges were dropped. Compensation payments have allowed the family to build a new home, but they're still waiting for answers to key questions, including who provided the information that led soldiers to the home and why the charges were ultimately dropped. For a decade, Gul Mohammed, also known as Jamshid, has refused to tell his story until today. He takes us to a field where in May 2012, an Australian SAS soldier executed his older brother, Dod Mohammed. An initial ADF investigation cleared the soldiers of wrongdoing, but a leaked video, first aired by the ABC, revealed the ugly truth. Dod Mohammed had 2 daughters. The family says he was a farmer, not a fighter. He was clutching prayer beads when he was shot. Jamshid says killings and the cover-ups enraged locals so much some went to fight for the Taliban. He is now a Taliban commander, and he knows his brother's killing is under investigation, but expects another whitewash.
او طریقه ور برابرولای شي. زه خو ګمان نه کوم چې دوی دا کار وکړي. ما خلک زیری او ته هم ستړي کړي یاست، موږ هم ستړي کوي.
We've been going village to village across Uruzgan province, speaking to the families of the dead and also survivors. And perhaps the one thing that stands out the most is the frustration that no one believed them. All these years, they say, what they really wanted was something very simple, an acknowledgement that these killings actually happened.
As the sun sets, farmers break for evening prayers. Nearby, others pay respects to the dead in a province, indeed a country, where graves are depressingly abundant.